Hello everyone, welcome. I hope you are all well. I am going to record it today a little bit against how I am feeling. I guess I cannot find word about the feeling I have. Basically, I'd rather just stay in my bed and read a book or watch reels or play with my cats. But in the same time, I know that I will feel great after recording this, that I'd feel like part of me that wants to be seen and wants to put out good for people and wants to be recognized and wants to achieve something. That would be a great achievement. So for anyone who is feeling like this, and you can obviously be feeling like this with many things, with exercising, with some chores, with pleasant things that you are not really feel like doing. Maybe this is because I am not really someone that is very extrovert, or maybe that's because it requires some sort of effort, and we have just Jupiter and Taurus, which I said that I was not coming out of my house today. I was making myself feel very comfortable. Jupiter is about expansion and Taurus is about feeling safe, being grounded, slowing down. So that's what I was doing today. So if that was your kind of weekend as well, then this was probably influenced by the planets also, because we are influenced. It also hugely depends on where Taurus is in your birth chart and things like this, but I'm not gonna go into that. I was just talking, and not for the first time, the struggles of recording this episodes, the struggles of coming on there and trying to do it first, second, on third time, because sometimes, although I am not preparing anything specifically, like I said also before, I try to prepare for the episodes in my mind throughout my days when I see something interesting, when something happens, but I don't specifically make any notes, or I don't really do any other preparations. I haven't. I sometimes especially in the beginning, especially in this welcome stage, I tend to say things couple of times. The one thing that I wanted to say is that at work last week I had this session where I had to talk to an audience. It wasn't like a huge audience, perhaps 20 something people, and it was online. And I saw benefits of talking to you, having this podcast. And now I am on, I think, 36 or 37 episode. And just being out there and talking continuously my thoughts without that much preparation, other than my thinking outside of the actual session, my thoughts, my beliefs, my things that I went through in my mind, things that happened to me, so my experiences and how I felt about them, what I've learned about them. And actually the subject that we were talking about on the session was AI, and I am quite passionate about AI because it's intelligence and it's a being, and it's artificial being, but it's based on humans. And this subject is just very fascinating to me, and I know a lot of people is quite scared about this, and and there is a lot of fear in it, as if with everything else there is just a lot of fear with new things, things that are coming and things that are not familiar, new things that are coming and that are not familiar. especially in sort of older generations. So I've seen it and I observed it with people perhaps around 60 years old or so. And I obviously do understand both of the sides, but what I was trying to put through was that and it's hard to say that in corporate world, and I didn't obviously say that in this kind of way, but it's the energy and how we think about something that makes this subject, object, or situation bad, let's say, and good, and how we it's also our reflection of how we see word in general. If we see a word as something that needs to be controlled, that we are afraid of, that pose some sort of threat very often, and we have to be prepared for this threat almost all the time. Or we see it as opportunities, as humanity is usually good, or, you know, with my example, how I am behaving, I will then pass it on to others around me. And that's how I would like to feel about what I am doing. So I believe that in me, my core, something that I don't even have control over, there is goodness, there is light, there is purity, there is humility, there is love, and this reflects on other people. I would love to believe that, and I didn't see that before. And when I was younger, or when I was in my in a part of life when things were happening to me, when I didn't understand how this works, how the energy works, when I was experiencing and I wasn't really experiencer. It's just I kind of let things to get on me. It obviously does not mean that I am not like this still. Sometimes I am just more aware. So in other words, I didn't have this awareness. I was still this light, because when I look at myself back at myself, I can see that there was light, but the light maybe was used by some people and taken away, and maybe used in the wrong way. The light was taken to get warm by, and again take it away, kind of. And exchanging it for maybe coldness and darkness sometimes. The light was taken freely, and then I was maybe probably expecting the light or something back, but I didn't get it. The light was also seen by a lot of people as a threat and something that they didn't understand what it is. And because they were threatened, they were in fear, they really disregarded me, or maybe felt that I was weird. I was told many times that I was a breath of fresh air. So breath of fresh air brings new things to your life. Maybe stirs things sometimes, and not everyone is comfortable with the stirring. Not everyone wants to look out of the very comfortable life that they already have. And not only, I don't mean the life as a living situation or something like that. I mean the life in their mind, the structured world that they built on, and now it's very kind of stable, and that's what they hold on to. This very stable, structurized, controlled world in their mind, which is like a scaffolding for who they are, and they hang on to this scaffolding. And then if someone comes that maybe shakes this, and maybe shows a different way, a different approach, not even a different belief, but yes, something fresh, something new, totally different. And I think the fear also comes a little bit from recognition that I don't want to say this is the truth, or this is, everyone has got their own truth, but there is one truth, that there is something more. There is something much more to what we are. We are not only this human forms hanging on our skeletons that we've, or scaffoldings rather, that we've built in many years of our experiences, and then we just we're just holding on to it as, because this is the expectation, because this is the society expectation, because this is what the family wants us to be, and this is how we grew up. And many times you kind of have to disembark this or break this scaffolding to then build something new, and that's so uncomfortable. And even when I talk about this, I don't want to go through any disembarking or breaking up my scaffolding, which I probably built again on some other things. And mine is, I would like to believe mine is built on light, and mine is built on a stronger core, or on a stronger spine that I have also developed. And the spine is built on the belief that there is spirit, that that there's many things that I was talking on this podcast about, but definitely is different to what it used to be, which a lot of this was that I am unworthy, that I am sinful, that I am just a dust, and that God is outside of me, not inside of me, that I am definitely not a part of God, that there is a division between everything good and bad, and they cannot they exist kind of separately. And also that I am separate from others. I couldn't see the oneness, and this is very, very hard to see the oneness of everything. And I love listening to podcasters who nail it and talk about it so well. So I really, really invite you to listen to podcasters who or read books about oneness. I think it definitely helps yourself and the separation that we are put into a lot through the religion, through society, and through different rules and also roles, even in the workplace. And now I would like to go to the main thing of this episode, which is the book that I wanted to talk about. And the book is called A New Earth, Create a Better Life. And it's written by Eckhart Tolle. He is amazing. He will help you with a lot of things. I think I was able to, I don't know if I was able to help, but definitely give a point of view from this book to a friend of mine who called me and said, and was talking about feeling empty and feeling just as she didn't know what to do with her life. She's successful, and to my point of view, she's got everything. She's got family and beautiful house. She's not lacking in anything. The reason that she was feeling this way is that she does work a lot, and she's got a lot of responsibilities, and she takes a lot on, and she wanted to do some more academia. She wanted to go into more further study, really, really high university study. And when she thought about it, she gained some insight from friends, and they did say and confirm that it was a lot of work. She decided she was not going to do that because she said she wouldn't be able to do that time-wise and effort-wise, and she would have to give her time that she has got with her child. But in the same time, she kind of lost the reason almost to, first of all, she almost lost the reason to not to exist, but to be, as if doing things was always pushing her forward, and thinking about future was the only reason to exist. And kind of this was the control to always think about future, to always control the future. And in a way, what I said to her is that the expansion, which Eckhart Tolle talks about in his book as well, the expansion, the fact that universe expands all the time. So universe started, let's say, from the Big Bang, and is still 3 million years ago or whatever time it was. And it's still expanding, right? The universe is still expanding. So because he was talking about us as a small universe, as a pictures of universe, as a minuscule universe, but within us, the milliard of cells that we have within us is like the stars, is like the galaxies, as many as the galaxies, as many neurons we have inside us. And as small universes, we start off as a Big Bang, as this cells that start multiplying and start expanding, and then we grow, and then going through our childhood, and then when we are 30, we are kind of in our biggest expansion, or then 35, whichever it is year. I think now it kind of moved a little bit. Beforehand it was probably teenage years. Now the biggest kind of boom of working and acquiring things and learning is kind of midlife, right? And then we kind of we're going down, so we start to getting smaller, and the expansion is not as big as it used to be before. And he talks about understanding, accepting this, that this is the law, or this is the same situation that is happening with the universe. At some point, the universe will stop expanding and will be starting coming back to what it was before. I really like this this thing about us being a universe, and universe also expanding, and us expanding, and then us going back to the source, the same way as universe is gonna come back to its source, and the source is still us, is love, is a God, is a spirit, whatever you call it, is the force that started this off to experience itself. I didn't go in as much detail with my friend as I am now going with this. And like I said, if you go back to this book, Eckhart Tolle is explaining this beautifully. And I think for me, it gives the insights, and it gives an explanation to the fact that that the aim of living is to explore, expand, experience. And that's why so many people is kind of sometimes trapped a little bit in this, I want more, give me more of this, give me more knowledge. The other factor of this was, though, that we are both my friend and myself, and many of my friends, we were brought in a specific way with quite critical parents that were expecting a lot of things for us, and the kind of barrier was raised very high for her especially. And then she then coming out of the home, and even though she does not have that much any relationship left with her parents or with her dad specifically, she kind of cut those cords very early on and doesn't really talk to her parents or father. This expectation stayed in her so engraved that now when she is not fulfilling these expectations that she put on herself, she's losing goal or losing aim or losing purpose in life, because that's how hard her expectations are in her, and that's how the inner critic, the inner voice, is telling her how much you have to achieve to matter, almost. And I am very much the same, and I had to, when I did tell my friend that I had to kind of understand and be aware of the the voices in my head that said I was lazy, I didn't achieve anything, I wasn't doing enough. The thing of not doing enough, I am not doing enough, I should be doing this, and this, I am wasting my time. Very much taken from my parents as well. My parents are doers, and they and I've spoken to my dad honestly, and he did say that if he's sitting down, he feels like he's wasting his time. And Eckhart Tolle again is very beautifully talking about this, about the feeling of time. We don't own time, we don't own life, we are life. So the fact of being, the fact that we are, he's also explaining the we are, but the being is enough. The being is enough. We are existing, and the life goes through us, and we tend to not live because we either live in the past or going through reminiscing things that happened, might have happened, didn't happen, or happened not in the way we wanted to. We should have done that. If this didn't happen, then this, or we are planning the future. And I am also so entrapped in this that we forget to live in the present moment, to enjoy and be in this moment, because this is what's being. And breathing, sitting down, feeling, looking at the sky, this is what life is about, right? And he also explained that it does not mean that if the situation is bad, or if we are not enjoying something, we're not taking ourselves out of this, or we acting. This is not about this, but it's about this present moment and feeling it. I was away for a couple of days, for a week, and I had on holidays / work. I did take a couple of days off, and then I worked for some other days. But it was so hard, especially in this situation when I had one day off and one day work, to kind of switch myself off and enjoy being. I was always in the future, or I was in the past. I was leaving the work that I've done the past day, or I was living in the future the work that I was about to do. That I was walking in this beautiful street in Spain with a blue sky and palm trees, and I completely wasn't there. I was somewhere else. I was at my laptop, or I was in my head, or I was thinking about, I don't know, whatever, finance, my reoccurring theme. And I wasn't in the sun, in my sandals, walking through the beautiful street, and I had to stop myself and breathe. Eckhart is also talking a lot about just taking a breath a breath as a manifestation of life, of being there. So it's a really good book, and the book that if you can go back and in and out and start at some points. I wanted to talk about pain body, but I think I am spent now, because I've been talking with passion for some time now. So I think I'm going to talk about and do a part 2 about different pain bodies and what it is. And maybe also I'll take some notes so I can explain it to you in a better way. I really do recommend this book to read it, and I think it's, if you are on your spiritual path, any Eckhart Tolle book would be amazing. And if you are learning English or know English, I recommend it to read it in English also. I don't know how good the translations are. I love the English translation. Is simple, it's to the point, is understandable, and again you can go and come back to it, and you can sometimes, for me, again, because my mind was racing, I couldn't concentrate on sentences there, but I was able to go back and forth between the sentences, so I could understand them better. So yes, thank you so much for staying with me if you lasted to the very end of this podcast today, and I hope to talk to you soon. I hope you found some interesting point in here, and thank you. See you soon. Bye.